People will be searching for stuff. You go to Amazon, what do? You search for products. And you go to Google, what do people do? Search for products. The same happens with your website. Now, if you don't have a search, you need to add one. But even if you just add a search, what you'll find is the results always aren't great. Sometimes people type in all these random terms and the results that you show aren't great. And what are you going to do? You're going to go build a complex algorithm like Google? Of course not. So the easy solution that we use at our company is called Doofinder. And what we find is it usually increases sales roughly by 20%. Because not only does it make your search more advanced, it's still really easy and simple to use, but their algorithm is really complex in a good way. The users don't experience anything that's complex, but the algorithm is quite sophisticated and advanced. So in that way, when people are searching, they're seeing the right stuff and what they're looking for. And what they'll do is when people are looking for stuff and they're not buying certain items, they won't show that as much as the items that people want to buy and are purchasing. My favorite feature with Doofinder is they offer something similar to Google Suggests. So anytime you search on Google, it'll give you a list of other terms that are similar. And the same thing happens on YouTube and heck, even Amazon. It's super effective in commerce. And Doofinder will add that to your website. In essence, they'll offer search suggestions based on customers' keywords and what they're typing in multiple times, different users, so they can figure out, all right, here's what you're really looking for when you type in this one word or these 2 words or 3 words. And that helps increase sales because the last thing you want to do, and this is what happens when websites don't have search, is someone's going to have to go to your site and maybe click on then gender, then apparel, then shoes, then the type of shoes, then the type of size. And it just takes forever to find what you're looking for. And if you have search, and ideally advanced search like Doofinder, when someone types in something generic like sneakers, there could be a lot of results. Doofinder will look at what are people buying and clicking on in the past that other people like that are similar, and they'll show them those items first because it knows that that's what's going to increase your sales and maximize your conversion rate and revenue. So how do advanced search engines help increase conversions? So let's dive in. 30% of visitors will perform an in-site search if there is a search engine box present, and not just on a page, but in an area that is easily findable. And according to Moz, they found that companies' conversion rates nearly doubled from 2.77 to 4.63 for people who use on-site search and found what they were looking for. So the key is not to just add search. The key is to add search that is advanced and provides amazing results. And if you don't, it's like, think about using Google. When you search on Google or even Amazon, if you got crap results, what would happen? It goes to bad user experience. You wouldn't come back again. You wouldn't use Google. They would make less money and Amazon would make less money. Hence, you want to optimize the results as well. If you're not convinced, advanced search has also been shown to increase average ticket size by 5% and average visit time for users by roughly 10%. Again, this indirectly helps increase your SEO because lower bounce rate, which is a factor in rankings, dwell time, things like page views per visitor. And the key is you got to make sure your search results are advanced. You could try to program something and hire a developer and try to do it all manually, or you can just use a tool like Doofinder. The fourth tip I have for you, and this worked really well for one of my companies, and I'll show you an example of this, is to make your checkout process really simple. You would think that when someone's coming to your website, they're going to check out, they're likely to buy. Your checkout process, in most cases, you would think doesn't matter, but it does. 21% of shopping cart abandonment is done so by people because the checkout process was way too complicated, according to a study by Baymard. You want to make your checkout process simple. Just because someone's coming to your website, it doesn't mean they're going to complete the checkout process. Abandoned checkout and abandoned carts cost companies so much money in e-commerce. It's literally billions and billions of dollars. And for that reason, you want your checkout process to be fast, indicate how many steps are, like step 1, 2, 3, guide them in the right direction, and make it super easy and simple for them. For example, with Crazy Egg, which was one of my old companies, we used to have a one-step checkout process where we would ask all the fields on one page. We changed it to a multiple-step checkout process, and then it ended up becoming 3 steps. Go to the pricing page, you can end up putting in your information to create your account, and then from there you go to the checkout page, and then you end up buying. That little thing, that little change, increased our conversions by roughly 10%. That's huge. Think about that. 10% more revenue by just simplifying and making the checkout process better. It's what we call the hoop theory. When someone does little actions, like gives you their name and email, they're much more likely to complete the rest of the actions. When someone's not even willing to give you a little bit of information, the chances are they're not going to buy. And when you have these long forms that ask for everything right away, it's overwhelming and people don't end up completing it. But when they just put in a name and email, they're like, oh, okay, this was simple. I already gave you my name and email. Oh, next step, not too bad, 6 more steps. Might as well complete it because you already have some of my information. And for the people who don't complete it all, you can end up emailing them and trying to get them to convert that way as well. When you're optimizing your checkout process, I also want you to think about the mobile experience because more people are using mobile devices these days than they are using desktop computers or laptops to browse the web. Think about it. People have their mobile phones on them all the time. You don't have your laptop on you all the time. Heck, your mobile phone is probably next to you in your bed or in your pocket, but your laptop or computer isn't always next to you in bed. So you want to make sure when someone types in their name, the right keyboard shows up and it's with letters. Or when they have to type in their phone number, credit card information, the keyboard with numbers shows up. These little things impact user experience and can affect your conversions. So some key takeaways for you, it's every little thing that adds up. One thing's not going to make or break your business, but if you do all these little things, you can easily get a 20+% lift in revenue. So I recommend doing things like optimize your checkout. Use tools like Doofinder. Don't just have search on your website, but have advanced search because the results are much better. They'll provide the similar feature to Google Suggest and you'll see your numbers go up. Also limit your navigational options. You're not running a site, that's a buffet that has too many options and people don't know what they want. It's analysis paralysis. You want to limit the options, and that way it also controls your SEO juice that you're driving to your main pages so they all rank better. And of course, leverage filters. That way people don't have to browse thousands of products to find the one that they want to buy. They can just easily find what they're looking for and check out right away. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. Let me know and I'll answer it. If you enjoyed this video, like it, share it, tell other people about it. I hope that your revenue and sales increase right away. Just take the time to implement one of these things. You can go with the approach of trying to optimize your navigation first or add filters, or you can take an easy approach and just add Doofinder to your site. Whatever it may be, just do some of these elements. If you do some of them, you're going to start seeing more sales.